Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Richard Henry, and I am a special education teacher in the Brentwood Union School District. Today, I'm going to be talking about our special education referral process from top to bottom and how a student who is not in special education can be referred and identified and then eventually placed into special education for those additional resources that may be needed. So, our first start in the initial process is the identification. And the identification is the school staff responsibility. The staff identifies a child who is showing possibility for exceptional needs and is able to refer those students for an assessment. The identification process can be established by both parents and teachers, and it revolves around either the lack of student growth academically, social emotionally, with social communication skills, or sometimes a mixture of the three as a whole. It's important to recognize that when there is evidence of the student showing exceptional needs and a source of data, and there is a source of data to back this up. This claim cannot just be out on a whim, but there needs to be some concrete evidence as to why this identification process has begun. The first step that we do is the student is not referred directly to special education, but they are referred to what is called a student study team or an SST. The student study team is where educational professionals attempt to plan strategies and organize additional resources to assist the student with their problems or concerns. The student study team is the first step to the additional referral process for the student. The student study team conducts several meetings, interventions, and if these interventions are met with fidelity but are not successful, then we move into the referral process. The referral process comes after the the SST has attempted multiple interventions and the students have been given a chance to show progress through their problems or concerns. The SST is now refers the student to the special education assessment. There is what's called an AP or a assessment plan that is sent out to that student's parents, just outlining what the assessment process is going to be like, whether it's psychological testing, academic testing. Our school district does both, just to give a well-rounded picture of the student. Once that's received from the parent, the staff has 45 days to complete the testing and hold a meeting. The assessment process is typically the school psychologist conducts a psychoanalysis and the special education teacher conducts an academics testing, where our district uses the Woodcock-Johnson for some of our older students. I have more experience using that, but the test is just primarily based on what the student's needs are. The test also gives the staff a well-rounded picture of the students' social emotional, social communication skills, as well as their academic needs. And as we conduct the assessment, once it's complete, we're able to gather up a report and get a better understanding that may either align with some of the needs that we've identified earlier on in the process, or may show us some other things that we may find to help the student. So we hold the first meeting after the assessment process, and this is called the initial IEP. The initial IEP is not necessarily to say that the student is going to be a special education student. It's just to review the assessment and let the IEP or 504 plan team decide what is the best plan for the student. If the team determines that the student is in need of an IEP, which is an individualized education plan, this allows the team to come up with the necessary placements and services that will benefit the student and eventually get them back on track to where we would like to see them. The placement is the final step, which comes after the initial IEP, where the parents have discussed what the possible plan is. The parents can show that they are on board with the situation. They've been able to voice their opinion and allow the team to hear what they think may work best. Everyone is discussing based off their professional opinions, and the parents are able to discuss their viewpoints as well. And the IEP or the 504 plan is determining what is the official placement of the student. And eventually the student is to be placed in the proper settings to begin supporting that student. Thank you guys for listening to this, and I hope this helps you understand how our referral process is.